Shifting gears a little bit, Cabby, when I was doing research for the show, I mean, you don't have to do too much research to understand that you always come off as super, jovial, down to earth, an easy conversation to be had with you. Was that just one of those natural gifts, like for you? Did you ever have to consciously put that on, or was it was just one of those things that you had in the bag?
Well, thanks for I appreciate that, man. Thanks. Is this our first date? Is this how we're, cause I do need to up my batting average.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, then I'll help you up that average. Let's go.
I was always loud and obnoxious, but then when it came to like interviewing, I always hated, like, I just never wanted to be cliche. And then when you work in sports media, you're getting 6 or 7 go-to cliches from the athletes. And then you're getting like 6 or 7 go-to cliche questions from reporters. And I understand a beat reporter's job is very difficult because you're covering a team for 82 games in baseball and hockey, 162 in baseball. And then football is probably a little bit easier. There are more people you can focus on, blah, blah, blah. But also the coaches never give you anything because they're intentionally boring. And nobody wants to create a controversy with any clip, any soundbite. And we've been in the soundbite culture for 20, 30 years. So I was always aware of like how boring like athletes looked when they were responding to things. And then I always wanted to pick up on, and I wonder who I got this from. My thinking was always out of the box. So I wouldn't ask things that hopefully the athlete would be bored by. Like if I asked Justin Turner when we played for the Dodgers, what's your favorite taco spot or what's the best taco truck in LA? He might start to smile because everybody's got one of those spots, like either their go-to spot, their go-to sushi place, Thai place, taco place. And it's like a point of pride to share it with you. Or if you say to someone, yo, where'd you get those kicks? Complimenting another dude's kicks is like telling him he's handsome. And so those were the things, those are the individual thing, the personality things that I wanted to amplify with athletes. So, and if I was, speaking with them a little bit longer, I would try to pick up on, oh, that's an interesting thing. So like, this is your favorite, or sometimes I would like re-ask to confirm, okay, so this is your favorite Mexican taco truck, but this is your favorite Korean taco truck. So, and then like, yeah, this one. And then it might continue to like, yeah. And if you want, the best burger spot in LA, you got to go to, Father's Office or Plant Check. In-N-Out Burger is legit, but you got to go to one of these. And so it just makes conversation more interesting. So okay. I also have to give a lot of props to Dan Le Batard and Tavis Smiley. They are expert interviewers. Tavis, I don't think has been on the air for a few years. He had a falling out with PBS, but they are excellent interviewers. They're just being able to pick up on things. I use some of their interviewing tricks. Like Le Batard he calls himself a grief eater. He likes to go back into the painful time. He wants to chart the process from the person's lowest moment to a place of excellence where they currently are. I don't do that as much, but I borrowed some of his interview tactics. Tavis Smiley always says like, he uses like, how do you navigate through X, Y, or Z? So the word navigating is a word that I've used many times in my interviews because I used to listen to Tavis Smiley on his podcast and he'd have a daily show on PBS. So I have to give props to those two. Just in my later development as an interviewer, I've picked up on things. A lot of people credit Howard Stern. They believe he's a great interviewer. I don't listen to Howard Stern. So I give my props to Dan Le Batard and Tavis.
You ever listen to Sean Evans on Hot Ones?
Sean Evans is excellent. He is also excellent. Great. I mean, I'm so professionally jealous of James Corden's idea, karaoke in cars, and Sean Evans like let's eat wings with 10 different hot sauces and I'll do it. And the research is great. And then I suppose maybe subconsciously I was not informed, but influenced by Nardwuar.
I was waiting for Nardwuar.
I guess, our styles are, I suppose we're similar in that we are, I'm using another cliche, we're outside of the box. We're sort of we're non-traditional interviewers, and he relies heavily on props. I used to use props in my interviews because I like the athlete and I doing something, and I think it's like it's a clever device to get them to react and to have fun. And Nardwuar would just like, here's a record from your childhood. Here's another record. Here's a toy. So there wasn't really like an interview. It would like, here's a prompt. Tell me about this prompt. And that then is the interview versus like asking a question or doing something. But anyway, Nardwuar is like, he's brilliant. And I don't know who he has on his research staff, but the research is phenomenal.